The area is ecosystem balancer and carbon sequestration, habitat of over 2 billion people and over 50% of the biodiversity, flora and fauna. Now such area is under immense pressure due to global temperature rising. Now, the catastrophic event spikes temperature cause worst and erratic weather extremes like irregular precipitation, flood and landslide. We have seen here some we have already witnessed.
In closing, I urge all countries in the world to act with urgency and solidarity. As President Xi Jinping stated last Wednesday at the leaders' meeting on climate and just transition, responsibility we all share. Let China lead by example, showing that through friendship and cooperation.
Of the 2030 NDCs. And Germany stands ready to support the development of NDCs, especially also in the developing world. For instance, through multilateral alliances such as the NDC partnership, in which Nepal is also a very valuable partner to us. For the implementation of ambitious climate goals, finance will be crucial. COP29, it was mentioned already, reached an important consensus on the new collective financing goal, striving to provide the 1.3 trillion US dollars per year by 2035. For 2025, it will be vital to start implementing the goal as a global effort. Germany stands by our commitment to multilateral climate finance. In 2023, we provided 9.9 billion euros of climate finance, about half, 43%, dedicated to adaptation and 57% to mitigation.
气候变化影响和保护喜马拉雅论为主题的交流活动，我很高兴能参加这个活动，同时在此向参加本次活动的所有驻华使节以及杰出的中外学者、专家致以诚挚的问候。20年前，中国国家主席习近平提出“绿水青山就是金山银山”，这一理念不仅是发达理念的核心，更化作守护地球家园的生动实践。在中国，从塞罕坝荒原变为海生态奇迹，到长江10年禁渔的休养生息，中国正以实际行动诠释对生态保护的庄严承诺。
Integrating and also we know about the destabilized ecosystems and also a sound of global alarm, one we can no longer afford to ignore. So that's why I think it's very important for us to have a kind of clarity on climate issues. And particularly in our case, so whenever we talk about climate change, Nepal is warming, and we know about the fact that Nepal is facing a problem from the climate change, and whenever we talk about climate issues, we say that we are facing 3 times faster than the global average. And also over 1,500 glaciers, they are actually retreating and also creating more than 3.
Sagarmatha Sambaad is Nepal's earnest call to the world to listen to the mountains, to the rivers, and to the silent cries of our plight, and to build the future rooted in compassion, courage, and collective wisdom. I am confident that today's forum will help build momentum for the Sambaad, highlight its significance, provide valuable insight, and inspire high-level participation from China. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Himalayan region and the Tibetan Plateau hold the largest concentration of ice and snow outside the polar region. This vast extent acts as a critical sink and regulates the monsoon system, essential for sustaining our climate and ocean ecosystem. It is the lifeline for more than 2 billion people across Asia. But today, this invaluable resource is under serious threat. The rise in global temperatures, driven by greenhouse gas emissions, is causing the Himalayas to warm at a pace faster than the global average. As a result, we are witnessing an alarming and unprecedented scale of glacial events, something never seen before in human history. The glaciers and the snow sustain not just ecosystems and vegetation, but also the rich, diverse cultures and civilizations that thrive along the great rivers of history. The livelihoods of millions dependent on freshwater, agriculture, pastoral farming, hydropower, and tourism are now in jeopardy. The very survival of people, societies, and culture stand at a crossroads. The devastation caused by the glacier lake outburst calming in the Sagarmatha region and the post-monsoon floods in Nepal's Sagarmatha province last year serve as stark and painful reminders of the harsh realities of climate change. For a mountainous and vulnerable country like Nepal, climate change is not a distant threat. It is an immediate and existential crisis. Distinguished friends, Nepal's contribution to the global carbon footprint is negligible. We have expanded our forest cover to over 45%, enriched our biodiversity, and are steadfastly promoting clean energy sources. We are pledged to achieve net zero emissions by 2025. Despite our sincere efforts, we remain one of the most vulnerable countries to the impacts of climate change. This is why we strongly advocate for climate justice and call for the global cooperation to address the growing menace posed by rising temperatures. Ladies and gentlemen, the Himalayas are not just Nepal's pride. They are a treasured heritage of humanity. Nepal, China, Bhutan, India, and other Asian nations share the great Indus Himalayan region, an eco-civilization interconnected by the crashed fields, mountains, and river systems. As we confront the painful realities of climate change, our shared responsibility becomes ever clearer. We must unite for adaptation, mitigation, and preservation. To protect the Himalayas is to protect our civilization, our cultures, our dreams, and the future of humanity itself. At this moment, I extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizers, participants, and especially to the young students from China